Hi there, this is Jon and Paul from Backwards Compatible, and we've had a playthrough of the Fuse demo on PS3, and we thought we'd have a quick chat or discussion about our first impressions and how we feel about the game in a whole. So, Paul, can you remember which character you chose in the end? This is obviously the character choice screen here.
I was the sniper, so I can't remember his name, but yeah, it was long range distance weapons, so definitely the sniper rifle. Which is a crossbow.
Oh right, that's interesting. I mean, I haven't played the sniper character. I've played a couple of the classes. I think I couldn't figure out how to choose a character here, so I think I ended up with the same person again, which is this girl Naya. You can see me faffing about here. Obviously, what we can see here is my point of view. Paul's point of view will be in my field of vision because we've captured it from my PS3. But you can see here there's Paul on the squad list. So yeah, I mean, obviously there wasn't very much in terms of marketing for this initially in the lead up to the game, which seems strange for Insomniac. What do you think was their state of play there? Why were they less inclined to advertise this game? A lot of people didn't really hear about it until it came out, did they?
No, it seemed quite strange. Yeah, it did seem strange, especially considering the fact that Sony are beginning to market their stuff properly now. And obviously Insomniac, even though they're not truly just Sony, they are... the marketing department must have been working slightly with them as well. So we didn't even hear it through like the PlayStation Press and stuff.
No, I mean there was quite a lot of coverage on Twitter. Insomniac were actually had a big Twitter campaign, but I do feel that seems kind of a narrow bandwidth of their target audience. But who are we to know? Are we marketing experts? No, but it just seems strange, really.
I mean, they might just be trying to cut on costs and see if it can work. Because it might be a bit more of a niche title, so it might actually be looking to see what they can do differently from every other game they've ever done.
The focus on this game obviously is co-op gameplay, and there are 4 main characters to choose from. And if you do play on your own, and here we see the opening screen, opening cutscene. Yeah, I mean you've got 4 to choose from, and you can jump between them. But we'll see as we play this actually what happens when there's more than one person playing.
Well, the great thing about it is the story does take into account all 4 players. When you play, obviously you didn't play it, but when you play Colonial Marines, it's actually always to one person's point of view. So every cut screen is just that one person, and it doesn't adapt as well to the co-op gameplay. I don't think. Whereas this game seemed to adapt a lot better, in my opinion.
And as you'll see there, Paul's Twitter handle is Wellbeing Austria. That's Paul there, Wellbeing Austria. I'm obviously the third-person view here. My first impression when I looked at this was, it's kind of a mixture of Uncharted and Lost Planet 2, the icy one. Or was that 3? 1? I can't remember now.
I think it's 2.
Yeah, it looks nice. And I think they've made a compromise between high frame rate and controls and quality of graphics. It doesn't seem quite as pretty as Uncharted, does it, at this stage? But we're only seeing a small part of the game. So we've got to give it its due, really. Where are you going, Paul? You're going down there, aren't you?
I have no idea. But apparently this is 3 builds away from final. So if it's this good with 3 builds away, then that's
pretty good.
Not looking too bad, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I completely agree with the traversal is very Uncharted-like. But to be honest, how many third-person shooter games are that system?
Well, there's Tomb Raider as well, isn't there? The new Tomb Raider game was similar.
And I think they're all pretty much the same system now. So again, it's very good. It's not... being compared to Uncharted should never be considered to be a down to me. But again, it's that it works well, and the view system works quite well as well because you are in control of the camera, which does help.
I quite like the not exactly HUD, but the overlays controlling your weapons and your movement. They were fairly intuitive. You'll see those in a second. Actually, this looks a bit like Metal Gear Solid, the base Metal Gear Solid. Again, I forget the name of it now. I'm sure people can tell me or shout at me what it is. I presume when you were playing here, you got a view of your weapon, your crossbow. The weapon I was using here shoots mini singularities, mini black holes, which seems quite a dangerous weapon to be using, really. But there you go. I was foregoing stealth here. I think all best intentions to be stealthy, but I think I just wanted to barge in and shoot. Obviously, Naya's perk, I use the word perk in the loosest sense here, is she can, she's obviously stealth and she can chameleon, I don't know, what's that, a stealth field around her?
Yep.
What was your perk? What was your special ability?
I can't actually remember. I can't remember. I'm being silly here.
I'm being very silly here, and I end up now straight away here with the buddy system here. You can a bit like Battlefield 3, actually, isn't it? How you can, if you're a medic, you can help each other out with health.
Everyone carries a medic.
Everyone can do that. Everyone can do that. So everyone can actually help everyone else. And I found when I played this as a single player, they were a bit more reluctant to come and help me. So it's quite useful to have real people playing to come dash over to you, especially if you've got voice comms like we have here.
And also, I will say that you'll see John reviving me a lot, because this was the first time I played it and I was a bit rubbish.
And this was the second time I played it, and so I kind of knew what was going on, really. Although it doesn't really show that on the video.
But it was good. It was because the weapons as well. You can take weapons from fallen enemies as well, which is quite handy. So if you do run out of ammunition, you've always got that secondary chance to pick up another gun, which is quite good.
Yeah.
But also what you'll notice is there's lots of snipers on top of the dam,
which I couldn't really shoot, but you could.
Yeah, and that's where
it's worth pointing out that the game is called Fuse, and this special thing called Fuse, which is a chemical that can warp the very genetic structure of any chemical and body part, is what's powering my stealth shield. And so there is a limit to how much you can use. Obviously, if you use it too much, like I've been doing, later on in the game when it gets a bit hectic, you're out of luck, unfortunately. So looks like my blood was freezing there. Wasn't that interesting?
But again, it's the weapons in it are interesting, and that's
what
something that Insomniac are quite good at, is doing different.
Like that shield there, we just saw a guy with a big shield from his gun. I think that shield can an alternate fire on that shield. It blasts the shield forwards like a shockwave and knocks all your opponents down or kills them. With the warp gun, if you shoot one person well enough, it chains other people as well. So it's a nice balance between using it moderately, using it frugally, or just going for it full blown. You can get sort of different style kills, which is quite cool.
But I do think a lot in the way of the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer or co-op system. That actually combining your talents is a really... They've combined the talents well of all the different characters. So if you did have 4 players playing, it would make the experience quite a bit better, I think.
It would, wouldn't it? Yeah. And that box there that I just picked up, I think was an ammo box.
Yep.
And actually, you can actually pick up little XP gems around as well, can't you? I noticed. I quite enjoyed the cover system in this game as well. It's quite a good system. It feels like they're drawing in a lot of different, like cherry picking all the best things from other games in terms of the controls and the game style. And I think it's inevitable in any new game that comes in. They'll use tried and tested features, won't they?
Yeah, don't see that as a weakness. You're going to see it as
definitely
slightly a strength. Again, you don't want a complete copy, because that would mean that the game of copy is perfect. But I do think that they have cherry picked some good points from different titles.
Obviously, we're seeing a real snapshot of this game, and we've no real idea. I mean, we do get a hint of the story in this, don't we? Later on, these sort of things I think are going to have to be dealt with in a longer review as such. But I had a blast playing this demo.
That's the thing, as a demo, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It showed a lovely bit of action. It showed a little bit of the story. It showed us some great visuals as well. So, as actual a taster
marketing
for a
strategy.
game, yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And that's.
I mean, it's worth noticing that as we're recording this, the embargo has been lifted on the game, and it's just been released in the US. And I know there's been some mixed reviews, but I think time will tell with this, really.
I think the biggest thing it depends on is time of gameplay.
Yeah.
It needs to be a suitably long campaign. It can't be too short, and that's something that, again, unfortunately, we are finding that games are not long enough. Again, if it had I don't think it has a multiplayer component, though, does it?
It must do, surely, with this style of gameplay, like Mass Effect.
Yeah, if it's that style, then that's fine, and I would quite happily go along with that.
Like a horde mode, essentially.
Yeah.
Are the characters interesting enough? Well, there's enough variety in characters, I think, later on in the game to allow horde mode.
Yeah, and there's enough. Well, it would just the thing is you wouldn't have the microtransactions and the ability to get different things that you can get in Mass Effect. But I think that the balance of being able to play with different people will be quite good. But obviously there is the issue that there's only 4 players, as in,
Mm,
so if I'm Naya, you could be Dalton, but we couldn't both be the same person.
true. In terms of leveling up, I've noticed if you're playing on your own, your other players will level up with you, but I think at a slower rate.
I
If that
think you
makes
just
sense.
got more kills than me. I think we start. I jumped
Stand
up
back.
to your level to begin with, which does seem a bit of a weird way to stand. And then you just leveled up quicker because you were getting more kills than me. But that was quite good.
Well,
Though,
it's
'cause
easier when you know where they're coming from, though. To be honest, but it's good. It was a good way of discovering how it worked.
But also, it's good because it doesn't mean that one person's far too overpowered, which can happen in some games.
Yeah.
Which is one of the arguments about Borderlands. Is that sometimes if you go with a higher enemy, the higher...
It's very hard for the lower enemy
Yep.
rating, lower skill rating. We didn't really get a very good look at the if there is a skill tree. I haven't really looked at it properly. If there's a skill tree in this, or whether you just auto level up.
I think you can. You do. No, you do have little options of
You
actions.
do?
Yep. It wasn't fully done, but there was slight little actions about each person has their own little abilities. But the question might, because one good thing about this game is you can swap between characters. It didn't actually explain how you swap if you're leveling up one player, if they all level up, or. But that would be quite an interesting little thing. Again,
I mean, are they guaranteeing on us getting 4 times the gameplay out of this by just playing the same game again, but as 4 different characters?
I think that's basically the replay value of it, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, that guy who was shooting there, the guy that was slightly whiter than the rest, it was a mini objective, wasn't he? We had to get him before the rest.
Yeah, it just wasn't actually brilliantly shown up though. That was the objective. But again, I think it's if you that's where the replay comes in, about trying to get the best scores and trying to beat everything as quickly as you can.
Nice environments, aren't they? I mean, it looks good.
And again, as you said, for an older build, it does look quite impressive.
Yeah.
So.
I'm completely lost here, aren't I? Oh look, XP. Is that XP or is that Fuse? That's XP.
And again, it shows your upgrades available at the top, which is quite nice. And again, the
Yeah.
HUD does work quite well, and I do like switching
It's
between
quite-
the weapons.
It's quite clean though, isn't it? There's not much on the screen. Oh, wrong door, love. Go on, go through the vents for goodness sake.
Even with a little bit of the snow, you get that slight little bit of snowfall, but not too much.
And also, as the camera rotates, I mean, it's obviously not a new technique, but it's nice to see the depth to the snow changing as your view changes. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Which should be something that would be great if this is played on the Xbox with the Lumi Room, wouldn't it? Really, have the snow leaving the actual screen.
That would be good actually. But the other, again, as you showed, just swapping between the weapons and being able to change.
Oh, there we go. There's a skill tree. So here I am. I've obviously leveled up now. I'm just looking at what. I mean, because we're sitting here waiting for me to get into the vents, it's pretty quick, really. I didn't think too much about this. I generally go for guns whenever I level up first.
I usually, strangely, I always go for defense first.
That's probably why I die more.
Have you don't know? Yeah, but no, I
Not
always
in this, but in other games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, though.
just trying to
Come on,
build.
I'll become Paul.
Build up a little bit defense first. But again, I think it's and the skill tree has a few nice options depending on how you want to play.
It's fairly simplistic, isn't it? Which is quite good.
But again, the options are there, so that's quite handy. And the objective bits with holding down the triangle are quite easy. So
It's nice transitions between game and cutscene, though. You see, there's a little subliminal suggestion here. You will buy Fuse. Let's hope that helps, eh?
and not to mention, it's now an awesome part of the demo.
It is, isn't it, really?
So you now have to accept the fact that that's what they're telling us.
Yeah. Now, essentially what we have here really is a boss battle, isn't it, really?
Yep.
Kind of a smaller boss battle. Here I am wandering around and you guys are all hiding behind the shield like clever people. You can actually shoot through the shield, which is really cool. Here I am shooting one of my teammates through the shield. But again, I've played this level before once, so I knew already that we could jump into the buildings and access environment control, so you can shut and open doors, which is quite cool. So you can get in there, you can grab the ammo, you can duck and hide, and then I even tried in the previous demo version, in a previous go of this demo, to try and trap them inside, but they wouldn't come in. They were reluctant to come inside. I don't think they could fit through the doors, to be honest.
I think that's what more likely is. They do look a little bit Metal Gearish.
do, yeah, they do. You're right.
But
Well,
again,
they're walking robots, aren't they?
yeah, it did seem that they were chasing me, which was a bit odd.
Now, it's interesting that you say that. I've heard other people talk about this when they play on their own. Is they only seem to be chasing the character you're playing rather than everyone. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so I wonder if that's just a bit of a mistake with the AI.
Well, although same people have said that when they jump to another person, the robots continued chasing the person they were in, which is interesting. I don't know what the rationale for this is. Maybe they're focusing on one certain person or a weapon, or I don't know. Interesting. I never noticed. Now that I'm looking at it properly, because I'm not playing it. See this sort of skull helmet's quite interesting on the robots. They almost look a bit like sort of Warhammer robots, don't they?
That sort of motif, that sort of style.
Yeah. So here we go. So we're sort of essentially grinding them down. These floating drones are also shooting down a ball. It did seem a bit frustrating that these guys just took so much firepower to kill, really.
But then
I know they're heavies and they're bosses, but
well, what I was hoping is that because it is so far away, the fact that because it said you would jump into a new section, so maybe we hadn't leveled up enough really to take them on.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
so
that's a good
that's
point.
what I was thinking. But also they want to do something that bit amazing. But also it was actually easy if you just got to hit them in the back.
There was no real. I was just thinking there was no real. Generally with the boss, you spend a lot of time getting killed and working out the technique for killing them. There's always a special way, isn't there?
Yeah.
And there wasn't really a hidden technique. Basically, it was just plug them full of lead until they die. This one, but mainly in their backs, where
that red.
the
red
classic
glowing thing
weak
is,
points are.
That one. Yep.
This guy looks like he'd teleport, couldn't he?
Yep. Which was quite cool. Again, it did look. It's an interesting thing. Obviously, the problem is with the bosses. It depends on how many different styles of bosses they have overall in the game.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to keep them fighting the same boss over and over again just for different skin. But even between these two, even between these two, the difference between having the Gatling gun and the flamethrower was quite good.
Yeah. I noticed you've gone red over there, and I haven't come to get you. So I think that's quite nice. The name's going red. It's quite a clever way of showing that they're unwell.
And also the yellow as you're going through looks quite cool. So it's it is.
Man down, man down.
The strange thing is, it does seem like a very well prepared demo, but obviously, again, it's a snapshot. It doesn't mean it's the whole game, and that's something that unfortunately we have been burned with in the past, and that's something that we obviously always want to make sure when you're looking at a demo, you've got to know how to judge it compared to the full game.
Yeah. So I just do like the information that appears on the screen is very good. That's a good point. I personally, there's also elements of binary domain in this, don't you think? Just the franticness, the Japanese styling, the robots, with the shoulder view.
Yeah, I personally still think Vanquish has more, for a third person, crazy over the top shooter, and much more Vanquish to this one. So I think that's maybe just me, but I mean, again, I think that it handled the online co-op very well. There was hardly any stuttering. There was hardly any lag between the two of us, which I thought was very good. So even this video is showing the fact that I'm not disappearing in and out. At the moment, as you can see, I've nicked the first boss that went down. I've taken his Gatling gun. So as soon as I got that, it did make me a little bit overpowered, which was fun. But the Gatling gun
that's
was
part of the game, though. You're playing the game, aren't you?
Yeah.
I tried picking up one of the beast guns as well, but unfortunately, I don't think Dalton was very happy about that. Oh, that was you, was it?
Yeah.
Fortunately, you lose the weapon, don't you, to go through this checkpoint, which is a bit annoying.
But it was good. And again, it showed that if you concentrate your fire on one, it makes taking down the second one easier, which is probably something that maybe learn for future bosses if we ever get doubles again. But I do think though, if it was just 4 on 1, it would have been a bit easy.
Yeah.
So I think maybe.
Well, I would imagine they maybe there's an extra robot comes in, or it takes longer to shoot them. They must level up the difficulty depending on the number of human players, I imagine.
Yeah, but
again, speculation, but we could check this out on a later review.
I also like the fact that though there wasn't loads of minions. It was just two bigs and you. But sometimes when they start putting the minions in, it just gets a little bit boring. So I did quite like that.
Well, it's kind of like cannon fodder, isn't it, really?
Yeah. So
here I am stealing all the XP from you.
Don't think that mattered too much.
I wonder if you'll be able to maintain your ranking when you play the game in full. They haven't mentioned that, have they?
No, not too sure.
Because you can save the cloud with this demo, so it seemed lacking in nice little secret hidden things. This though, I guess it's not really a loot game, though, is it? Like Borderlands or Tomb Raider.
Well, again, because the weapons you've already got them, haven't you? So that's why it's not really looty. So I don't really think they're going to have that secret agenda like you do in Borderlands and games like that.
Sure.
There's the airfield. Come on.
I think this is getting quite close to the end now. So towards the for the full demo, I would give it a very good rating. Whether that then equates to the game is obviously always a bit of an issue. But from looking at just this demo, it would be on my pretty much pick up list. Obviously, whether I actually then do go through that's a different matter. But it did seem a little bit like well, kind of. But also, I've played it. It feels like I've played lots of it before, but not the whole thing in the package, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So that made me quite happy, and again, it is something that I would definitely consider picking up. But I will wait to see what the game length is like and what the full emphasis is from other reviews. I think. Yourself?
I think if I did pick this game up, I'd have to pick it up knowing one or two of my friends were also playing it. I think I'd be reluctant to play it on my own. I do much more enjoy online play and co-op play. Although I do enjoy single play, I think the nature of this game makes it a must play as a co-op. I don't know if that's a good thing or a failure on the part of Insomniac.
Well, I would like if things like the PSN did the one that Steam do, where you can buy 4 copies for a reduced price and give them to friends. Because
that's a good idea.
That seems like quite a good idea that if they bring that into the PlayStation, would work really, really well to build up that market. And also, if you can have things like microtransactions, if you've got a definite 3 people playing it, you can have so much.
You've got more microtransactions, haven't you? Yeah.
And if you're losing a tenner, it's not, or £10, it's not really a great worry overall. If you're then going to get 40, 50, £100 back on microtransactions and other things.
So what would you look at for microtransactions here? Just upgrades to weapons, skins on the characters?
It's going to be
skill sets.
I mean,
new maps.
It could be DLC, obviously, like other levels.
New missions, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get tooled up. Where's all the guns?
Come on, move. We can't lose it.
It's almost alien style corridors, these aren't they?
Oh, so this is my fault.
But again, slightly better than Colonial Marines.
Yeah. There we go. Look, they're all the guns. Again, this is not knowing the full capabilities of the weapons, having not played very much. It's kind of like sport for choice here, isn't it? Really. I mean, I stuck with Scavenger, but you with Daybreak. What did you go for?
I had the obviously you had my the pistol, the pistol that you can see there, which is the automatic pistol, and the burst fire rifle, which I can't remember the name of. But that was it. I do like burst fire, and it was very powerful, so it was quite handy. But then I always like having a short fire weapon like this pistol, as you can see.
Yeah.
Did see that the weapons are very big for the people.
Yeah. They're kind of Final Fantasy style, sort of oversized weapons, aren't they? Really.
Yeah. Which did make me laugh just a little bit. But.
Well, I guess it's. If there's 4 of you playing, it's probably easy to discern who's using what. So it's maybe it's a tactical thing.
I think, and we are done.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it's got again the cutscenes are quite pretty.
Yeah.
Both for the
they maintain the same style, so there's no increase or decrease in quality, which is a good thing, I think.
And I think there was not a lot of popping at all, really, and the frame rate seemed quite stable throughout the whole game. So that does paint very well for co-op online, I think.
And there we go.